Fellow Zimbabweans, I come to you once again to tell you that we've been mobilizing ourselves to deliver the final blow to a dictatorship that lacks any wisdom or empathy. We are now ready to deliver the final push, a push that needs all of us to face the odds and base a new country. We are going to give you a clearer signal soon. It will come before 2300 hours at night, so that we end this 2030 business. We have read in the media that police are on high alert to deal with demonstrations. We appeal to the police to be on the side of the people, to think of the impact of keeping this regime in power and the effects on you and your families. We also ask you to respect the Constitution, which allows for peaceful demonstrations and provides for ways to remove rogue regimes from power. The police say they are on high alert. Let's remind them that they were on high alert when we said Mugabe packing and brought back Mnangagwa. They must be on high alert again as we remove this dictator. In the past week, there have been attempts by this corrupt regime to buy war veterans using groceries and balls so that they can forget their birthright and the reasons why our fellow comrades lost their lives and lives to liberate this country. These tickets are only being given to war veterans who belong to the Zanu PF War Veterans League, as if they are the only ones who liberated this country. I want to declare here and now that we are not for sale. We won't pawn the future of our children and that of their children. Mnangagwa, using criminals like Tungwarara and Bahia, is going across the country buying hampers and donating a paltry $200 per each war veteran. We say paltry because in our country, poverty data line is 500 US, and therefore anything below that is an insult. Stop insulting freedom fighters. The question that needs to be answered, however, is where is Tungwarara getting that money he is dishing out? Is it coming from his pockets? We know that's not the case. If government is failing to fund from treasury the welfare of all veterans, how can individuals afford this? We all know he is a corrupt fraudster who has made millions from the perimeter wall project at the State House. In a country hit by drought, schools are without books, teachers are poor, nurses work without adequate protective clothing. What does the rogue president do? He splashes 42 million on building a wall so that he can fund the lavish lifestyle of Tungwarara. How do you take taxpayers' money just for your wife to go around the country to play pada and fry mopani waves? Honestly, 60 million for funny and games because your wife cannot sit herself down in the unbridled ambition of being a mean president. These things are allowed to happen. These things are allowed to happen because we are being led by crooks. Nothing more, nothing less. They are worse than baboons whose legendary primitive accumulation of wealth he has brought this economy to its knees. Life as we knew it under the late President Mugabe was far much better. This clueless Mnangagwa is sent us to shame as a people and nation. We must reclaim our lost glory and therefore As we move forward, our goal is to ensure that honesty and compassionate people have control over the source of funds in our treasury. This will ensure that national funds are not treated as personal funds, as is currently the case. How heartless and selfish can one be? To drill a borehole for a homeless war veteran, you expect one to drink water while sleeping under the stars? That's bullshit. What is more important, shelter or a borehole? Do you know that war veterans sacrifice their youth, education, opportunities for jobs, and even life to bring liberation, and you wish to pay back that selfless sacrifice with a few coins? We are not Judas. We will not sell out. In all honesty, what kind of a president or human being leaves hospitals without medicines and instead uses scarce resources for the construction of an overpriced perimeter wall at State House? My advice would have been better. We had built better prison. Sell for yourself. Why should that person be allowed to remain in office? Who is Mahia? He is a destitute, made poor by a government that steals from this country. He goes before national TV, threatening to tear a national constitution. In what capacity? As who? Does he know the 2013 constitution represents the voice of the people? This is treasonable, to pull on the voice of the people just to tickle the behind of a useless person who calls self-president. We know Mahia is fighting tooth and nail through bootlicking so that he survives. We must stop sacrificing national ethos for personal gain. I call on him to focus on the future, and I assure him he will never thirsty nor hunger again. In this country, we now have degreed vendors, prostitutes. After attaining degrees, young girls are forced into streets to sell their bodies to earn their keep. We know we are the big clients because only you have access to the national purse. Our children have lost their moral compass because of greedy, selfish adults. Kindergartens mistaking gray hair for wisdom. Look at the company Mnangagwa keeps. Ziambe, Matuke, Owan Mudangove, and others. All these have dead background. They are shameless and corrupt. Their parents were well-known sellouts during the liberation struggle. But now they want to behave as if they are more Zimbabweans than Zimbabwe. Why does ED surround himself with such people? Simply because he is one of them. Christopher Mchangwa, my friend, we seek to appeal to your conscience. You have been our brother. We have stood together. But your statement, although half-hearted, was just a pity. How do you defend a person who arrested your son like a common criminal over things that his children do daily? While your son was being held in remand prison on charges of selling sterling, this rogue president was giving Shigananda a license without even consulting Potras. Is that a president you want? Mnangagwa, the people of Zimbabwe are charging you with the following. 1, presiding over a failed state. a nation that has failed its people. 50% of Zimbabweans are in poverty, while over 80% are jobless. You and your government has no plan whatsoever to correct these mistakes and failures. 2, constitutional abuse of office. You have captured the judiciary for personal gains, firing judges willy-nilly, and issuing threats when judgments don't conform to what you want. You have destroyed the very core of our democracy and legal system. 3, you have turned state resources to a personal playground, ceding state duties to your wife, who is abusing state resources, and he has become a Tsarian who hires and fires government workers at your whims. You have presided over corruption, weaponizing ZAC for your own political fights. Your children and yourself are at the center of all corrupt activities. You invite criminals to State House because you yourself are a thief. 5, you have stolen people's happiness. Mnangagwa must therefore just go. And as we move forward, this is our plan. We have put enough mechanism to make sure the revolution will not be hijacked again. Going forward, all stakeholders of various parties and civil groups will be consulted on every step we take. We want to liberate all, so this should never be viewed as a Zanu PF internal fight. It should never be converted into such. We are going to call for action soon. Stock up in preparation for a national shutdown as we march to a free Zimbabwe. This was prophesied long back. Murie Zimbabwe, get ready for action. Be ready for action once you receive the signal. We have called upon you to step down peacefully, and immediately you have ignored. The people are going to force you to step down in line with the provisions of the Constitution. Once you go, we'll allow for a transition to a democratic government where people's voices are heard and their rights are respected. Stand guided, warned, or entertained. The choice is yours. We are not afraid of you. Never. We are not afraid of your propaganda machine. We are the people. We are the majority. And we will prevail. Mnangagwa, we say stop tribalizing with the future of our people. We say once again to you, live now and live peacefully. For the sake of our nation, for the sake of our people, and for the sake of your own legacy, if we still have any, we will die for what we believe in. This is our home. This is all we have. This is all we shall ever have. And Mnangagwa can't be allowed to keep abusing us or stealing from us. Power to the people. Muri Zimbabwe, tinosangana zvakare. Hapasina need kuti nizvitaure kuti ndozani vangundiziva mese. Nyaya hombe yataita press conference iyi ndeyekukuyeuchidzai kuti kutaura tataura. Right? Tava kuda action. Uyu murume uyu anonzi Emerson Mnangagwa takamupa mukana wokuti ngaaende aziye president atanga kukumirwa kuti aende peacefully. Tinana Mbeki, tinana Zuma, tinana the late President Mugabe. Vakakumirwa kuti vaende, vakaenda. Vaine hunhu hwavo. Asi uyu nokuda kuti munhu akaunganwa nematsotsi akawanda. Matsotsi aya aba. Ndinoshaya kuti izvo hama dzake dzinosiya hama yavo ichikepswa nematsotsi furirwa nematsotsi, because matsotsi aya anoda kuramba achiluta upfumi hwenyu imi muchishupika. Saka vanoda kuti kana iye ari mupawa vanoramba vachiluta. But matsotsi aya manganiko 500 to the most 1000. Ndo vanhu vangatinetsa isusu vanhu ivava. Ndo vanhu vangatinetsa vasingambozivikanwa kuti vakabva nekupi. Saka ini ndiri kuti mhuri yeZimbabwe, kushupika kwedu isusu vana veZimbabwe kwanyanya nokuda kwekupusa kwedu, nokuda kwekuregerera matsotsi aya achiita abuser. Tinotaura nyaya dzakawanda dzaitika munyika munomu. Tikada kuongorora kuvarimi vedu, 70% yavarimi vedu, right? Pane chirimwa chinonzi cotton chakaintroduced nguva dzana Smith. Chairimwa kumativi mana ese enyika kubva kunana Mount Darwin, vana Bindura, vana Mazowe, vana Shamba, vana Bhurwi, Mzarabani, Dande, Sanyati, Gokwe, Chiredzi, name it. Right? Ndo yakapa varimi vecotton mbiri kuma areas ikoko. Mafarmers aikwanisa kutenga manew tractors, mafarmers edu aikwanisa kutenga manew motikari nyuwani chaiyo inobuda inobviswa mapepa. Asi nokuda kwematsotsi industry iyoyo yakaurawa. Urombo hwakumamisha uku hunonzwisa tsitsi. Varima vanga vachiti kana vachinge varima cotton yavo iyoyo votegerwa necooking oil, votegerwa nesipo. Matsotsi achinoita ma$US necotton iyoyo. Saka nditaurire kuti warima 50 bales wopuwa sipo necooking oil ye50 bales unoitisa chii? But iwo havana hanya nazvo. And up to now varimi vakawanda vati zviri nani zvedu kusarima cotton. Vari kusafa mafarmers edu as we speak. Kune zvinhu zvakawanda zvatoda kugadzirisa kana paone new arrangement. Chimwe chacho ndichocho chokuti cotton kuvarimi ngairimwe, varimi vachitengerwa. Matengerwo avaingoitwa even nguva dzana Smith. Ndo zvatoda kuti zviitwe. Right? Takataura last time. Yeah. Sakuru mapela ngemaproperties. You know? Ezipra. Right? Sifuruki indawo yankona. Right? Iadreswe. Masinyani. Right? Amukanotoreri vana vasacrifice their lives kuunza independence. vana voitawo pfungwa dzavo votawo mana ngatiitei kadzatu kuti kwatava kuenda uko hatizivi kuti kwakamira sei, right? Tizokwanisawo kuzvichengeta nekuchengeta mhuri yedu. Mavatorera maproperties avo for all these years, right? We want those properties dzemazipura back. Ende chimwe chinhu chinofanira kuti new arrangement iyi yamatsotsi yabva iyi, vatange kuona kuti zvinhu izvo zvagadziriswa. We also come kune imwe nyaya ndakataura, right? Nakuruma pela nemavictims eguku rahundi, right? Sifuna kuti indawo yangkhona should come to an end, right? The victims of guku rahundi are known, vanozikanwa, right? But government yeZanu PF yanga ichikuita vanhu kumatebheri nechitsotsi kunge vasingafungi, right? Uyu abudaisa chikomishini, uyu abudaisa chikomishini, uyu abudaisa chikomishini chake. Mavictims anozikanwa. We want vanhuwa kuti vakompensetwe oro paitike anything chinoita kuti mhuri yekumatebheri ndifare. Endi chimwe chinhu ndechekuti there is no meaningful development in Matebele. Unongonzwa Gwai River Dam, hariperi. Amoti rakatanga kuvakwa rini. Gwai River, it's only Gwai River Dam, right? Nzvimbo yakura sematebhele ndiye Gwai River. Saka toda kuti izvo upfumi hwenyika ngahusvike kumativi mana ese, kumaprovinsi ese. Ndosvivirembiswa bhozi pakasungurwa nyika inoyi vana vakabva kumaprovinsi ese, right? Saka attention inofanira kupa kumaprovinsi ese zvakafanana, right? Touya kunyaya yemavhenders edu, ndeimwe nyaya yatinofanira kuti igadzirise nokukasika. Imumapurisa eZRP nemumapurisa eKazu munotora zvinhu zvevanhu, right? Vanhu vari kusvipika kuda mabasa, ndopanobva rendi yake, ndopanobva chikafu chake, ndopanobva sikuru fizi yemwana wake ipapo. Iyi muri kumutorera munoguvana, right? Muda kuti vanhu ava vaponesei. Isi hatisi kupromota kuti mutaundi musaita order, but if you care for the people, munodii kuvaisira nzvimbo dzakanaka, not kuti vanhu mavakuvaisira zvimusika, hamunoti kupi kure kwenye vanhu, kana muchivaisira nzvimbo dzokutengesera, vaisirei kuti kana ivhunu vanotenga vacho havanetseki nokufamba kunotengera vanhu, vanhu venyu apa ndo vanhu vanomuhoterai. Ivo varimi vekumamisha ndopanotido kune mastronghold munovabata kake, mavhenders iwawawo munovabata kake. That should come to an end. Hatidi kuona mapurisa anofamba achitorera vanhu kusvikira magadzirisa nzvimbo dzavo dzavanofanira kutengesa, eni nzvimbo idzo dzogadzive convenient. Muri kunzwa maindustry yakavhara ese, saka muda kuti vanhu vaite sei? Then chokupedzisira, Comrade Mutamba, une vakomana vako APC vabvunze maripotsi ekuti zvoda vanhu paground apa ndezvipi. Vanhu havachadi, saka vanhu vakapinda mumastreets umu, right? Vachitsvaga their constitutional, fighting for their constitutional right. Demonstrations avachaita, will be very peaceful, and are provided for by our constitution. Tikanzwa kuti kune munhu asungwa, munhu apfurwa, mapurisa ako ese anogara kumarokesheni. We want to warn you kuti mapurisa ako iwawo anogara kumarokesheni. Tichati vanhu vadhile navo nemafamilies avo kumarokesheni ikoko vanopedzera. Saka munofana kuita zvinhu zvinodiwa zviro zvevanhu, because muri mapurisa evanhu. Saka itai zviro zvevanhu. Kana mademonstrations ari peaceful, unless kana mademonstrations acho akava violent akadii, hatimadi mademonstrations akadaro, ayo hatimadi. But kana ari peaceful, aitaura kuti because hamungarambidzi vanhu kuti vati munhu achamunhu, munorambidza sanani. You tried it, kumashure zvikaramba, and takarasikirwa namapurisa akawanda, takarasikirwa namasiyawo akawanda. Vandaizwa dzaitova hama dzangu nokudawo kuti munenge muchirwa nechokwadi. Kana vanhu vakati havachadi. Saka this time hatidi kuona mupurisa, kana mupurisa uchingoripo kuona kuti hapasi kuitwa crime chete, but not kumisa vanhu kuita mademonstrations, vachidemonstrata for their rights. Ndatenda.